What would you do if you gained the power to kill anyone in the world, simply by writing their name? Most people say they would change the world, bring justice, punish evil, but power like that never stays pure for long. And Light Yagami learned that faster than anyone. Light was a genius, top student in Japan, perfect grades, perfect reputation, the kind of person adults admired immediately, calm, handsome, disciplined, from the outside. His life looked ideal, but inside, Light was bored, not ordinary boredom, the dangerous kind, the kind that appears when someone starts believing the world itself is beneath them. Every day felt empty. Corrupt politicians escaped consequences. Criminals continued hurting innocent people. Society praised appearances while evil survived quietly underneath. To Light, the world had already rotted. Then one day, everything changed. A black notebook fell from the sky. Simple, ordinary looking. Yet the words written inside were horrifying. The human whose name is written in this notebook shall die. At first, Light laughed. It sounded ridiculous, impossible. But curiosity won, and after testing the notebook on a criminal shown on television, the man died, instantly. That was the moment the world truly changed, because somewhere beyond human understanding, something else had been watching. Ryuk, a Shinigami, a god of death, tall, monstrous, grinning constantly. Ryuk dropped the notebook into the human world out of pure boredom. He simply wanted entertainment, and Light fascinated him immediately, because unlike most people, Light adapted to the Death Note terrifyingly fast. At first, he convinced himself he was creating justice, killing criminals, eliminating evil, purifying the world. But the deeper he descended into that power, the more distorted his idea of justice became. Soon, the mysterious deaths spread across the globe. Criminals collapsed from heart attacks publicly. Prisons became terrifyingly silent. Fear consumed society. And gradually, people gave the unknown killer a name, Kira. To some, Kira became a savior. To others, a monster. But Light himself stopped seeing the difference. Because once someone begins deciding who deserves to live, humanity itself starts disappearing. Still, Light believed he was special, chosen, the creator of a better world. And perhaps the most dangerous part was that he genuinely believed it. But while the world feared Kira, someone else became interested. L, the greatest detective alive. No one knew his real name. No one knew his face. A mysterious genius who solved impossible cases from the shadows. Strange, emotionless, brilliant beyond comprehension, and unlike everyone else. L immediately understood something terrifying. Kira wasn't a god. He was human. That realization became the beginning of one of the most psychological battles ever created. Because the moment L challenged Kira publicly, Light accepted, not emotionally, strategically. What followed wasn't simply detective work. It became war. A silent battle fought through manipulation, intelligence, and paranoia. Every conversation carried hidden meaning. Every mistake could lead to death. And somehow, the most terrifying part was how similar Light and L truly were. Both isolated by intelligence, both obsessed with justice, both convinced they were right. The difference was simple. L searched for truth. Light searched for control. Season 1 constantly escalated the tension between them. L narrowed Kira's location through impossible deductions. Light manipulated people effortlessly to protect himself. And somewhere in the middle, innocent lives became tools. One of the darkest moments came with Misa Amane, a famous model and devoted supporter of Kira. After receiving her own death note from another Shinigami, Misa became obsessed with Light instantly, not because she fully understood him, because Kira had punished the criminal who murdered her family. To Misa, Kira represented salvation, and Light exploited that devotion immediately. That was what made him increasingly terrifying. At first, he hesitated killing people, felt fear, even guilt. But over time, manipulation became natural. Human lives became calculations. Even the people closest to him stopped mattering compared to his vision of becoming the god of the new world. Meanwhile, L grew closer to Light physically, studying him constantly, watching every expression. And strangely, a twisted friendship began forming between them. They played tennis together, attended university together, spoke casually. Yet beneath every interaction, both quietly attempted destroying the other. That psychological tension became suffocating, because neither could fully prove their suspicions, and both understood how dangerous the other truly was. The arrival of the Shinigami Eyes made things even darker. A power allowing someone to see another person's true name and lifespan instantly, but at a cost. Half of the user's remaining life, again and again. Death Note explored the same terrifying idea. How much of your humanity would you sacrifice for power? And Light kept sacrificing more. The story slowly transformed from crime thriller into psychological horror, because Kira's greatest weapon wasn't the notebook. It was Light himself, his intelligence, his charisma, his ability to justify evil completely. And perhaps the most disturbing part was how often society supported him. As crime rates dropped, more people began worshipping Kira openly. Fear slowly became obedience, and obedience slowly became devotion. The line between justice and tyranny disappeared entirely. Yet even while Light gained influence, L never stopped pursuing the truth, no matter how dangerous it became, no matter how isolated he felt. Because unlike Light, L understood something important. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, and no single person should ever decide humanity's fate. The emotional core of Season 1 wasn't simply the murders. It was the tragedy of Light himself, because at the beginning, he truly believed he was helping the world. But the Death Note amplified everything already hidden inside him. Pride, control, superiority. Until eventually, the brilliant student who once hated corruption became something far worse. A tyrant smiling behind the mask of justice. By the end of Season 1, the battle between Light and L had consumed both of them completely. Trust no longer existed. Every move carried deadly consequences. And somewhere above them, Ryu continued watching silently, laughing. Because to a Shinigami, human morality meant nothing. This was simply entertainment. And perhaps that was the cruelest part of all. The lives destroyed, the fear consuming society, the endless psychological warfare. To Ryuk, it was just a game. But for Light and L, it became something far more dangerous. An obsession. A battle that could only end when one of them finally lost everything. Because once someone gains the power to play God, the question is no longer whether they'll change the world. It's whether they can survive becoming the monster they once believed they were fighting.